Hey guys, so we know a lot of you struggle with attacking in FIFA 23, so this video here today is going to cover everything that you need to know regarding attacking. And if you're someone that really struggles with attacking, this video today should hopefully set you free and give you some clear ideas on how to attack this year in the game. So in order for us to keep producing videos like this, then we do need your support, so make sure that you smash the like button, subscribe, and make sure you turn on that notifications bell so that you know exactly when we release new content. So we know a lot of people struggle with attacking, and one of the things that we think a lot of people really struggle to do is they try and rush forwards too quickly. Now we say this a lot in a lot of our videos, and a lot of people really try and rush forwards. They try and always look to pass forwards, always look to just go forwards all the time. And the best players in the game don't necessarily do this. They don't rush forwards at every opportunity, because when you get into attacking positions, you have to have the reflexes and reactions to react very, very quickly if you're going to play in the here and now. So here's some really good examples of what we look to do. So when we're looking to build up attacks, a lot of people in this instance would just straight away want to punt the ball in behind. They'd just be looking to play that lob through ball over the top. But what we want to do is we want to entice that defender to come towards us a little bit more, so it gives us a little bit easier space. When we talk about playing and thinking ahead, we're actually thinking about building up this attack. So what we're thinking about is playing this ball in behind and then playing it across again to the back post to Ben Yedder, whereas our defender, our opponent, he's thinking about just, okay, this guy's going to play the ball in behind to Lewandowski. I need to cover that run. We're already thinking one pass ahead. And when you're thinking one pass ahead of your opponent, that's when you have control of the game. So you really need to get into the mindset of you need to start thinking about your attacks and thinking ahead of what you want to do. What you want to do once the ball gets to the next pass. You need to be thinking that extra pass ahead. And you can see when we do eventually pass that ball in behind to Lewandowski, we have just an easy cross into the back post because we know what we're going to do. We're already prepared, we're already ready, we know how to score. And the same thing happens again when we get onto the wing this time around. Now this time we have multiple options, and this is really important. You've got to be able to identify situations very, very quickly. So in this instance, we can either pass the ball inside, as a lot of people would look to pass this ball across and then shoot, or maybe pass it across again, or you can go to the byline and then look for the pass. You can see how we've circled the defender marking our striker. So what does this mean? This means that we can't pass it. There's no pass because he's going to intercept it. So we just, this time around, we just go down the byline, and then eventually when we look for that cutback, he's going to have to come and press us to get the ball off us. And that's exactly what he does. He eventually makes that mistake. He jumps in and he leaves our man free for the tap in. So we talk about being patient with attacks and not rushing into attacks and making sure that you have different ways to score, because not every way you're going to score the same. Sometimes you're going to be able to run through your attackers and you're just going to be able to play quick 1-2s, quick little balls in behind. Sometimes you're going to have to take power shots from distance. Sometimes you're going to have to go down the wing and look for cutbacks. Sometimes you're going to have to cross. There's many different ways that you're going to have to score in the game, but it's about being patient and, like we said, thinking ahead, thinking about the next pass, because when you're a pass ahead of your opponent, you always have the advantage. Your opponent can't catch up. He's always going to be chasing you. Think about it from the other point of view. How many times have you been defending and you're always chasing the attack? You're always chasing behind, and that's because your opponent is one step ahead of you, and you have to be that when you're attacking. You have to get ahead. You have to think ahead of your opponent. You have to be the one that takes initiative of the situation, because ultimately it's far easier to attack than defend. So we can see again, we get into a very, very similar situation on the first clip we showed. Again, attacking up that right-hand side this time. And again, we just want to try and bait the defender into us. We're just trying to bait him in, so it allows us to be able to have an easier pass in behind to Ben Yedder, and then look again for a pass across to Lewandowski, which isn't actually what happened this time around. This time around, we managed to get the ball in behind to Ben Yedder, but our opponent this time, this is what we talk about when we talk about being able to react quickly. Our opponent actually covered off the pass to Lewandowski quite well. So what do? You don't pass. You don't pass the ball if someone's in front. You just either run forwards, and then when you get into the box, just jog. Just jog. Don't be holding the sprint button, because then it's very, very hard for your player to move. You need to let go of that sprint button and just move using L1 dribbling, R1 dribbling, just holding the left trigger for close control dribbling, and then wait for a pass to open up. And if he keeps covering the passing lanes, if he keeps covering Lewandowski, you can see Sane at the bottom of the picture is running in, and he's the one who actually picks up the ball in the end. If he keeps backing off and covering the passing lanes, then just take a shot. And that's where you've got to be able to act in both situations. But you can see, as we pointed out this time around, little ball rolls create some space, and then that pass back to Sane for a great finish. And it all comes back, the same theme keeps coming up. A lot of people, how many people would play this ball And this is where I think is very, very important. If you're being honest watching this video, how many of you would pass this ball in behind? Whether you chip through ball over the top first time, sort of like a 360 no look spin over the top through ball, or you take that ball in stride and then just pop one through. This is a very low percentage chance pass. The chance of this pass actually coming off back to goal with a striker that doesn't have great passing is quite unlikely to come off. The chances are the defender's going to intercept it or block it. It's going to be deflected. It's going to fall down to one of his players. So this is when we talk about being able to just recycle the play as well. Just sometimes being able to go, okay, pass isn't quite on. The rest of my players aren't up the field. And you can see now we recycle the ball really well, able to work that space. And this time, yet again, we look for that cross to the back post. This time around, just using the Y buttons. And this is really important to know what buttons to press in certain situations. A lot of people might like to press the A button here. This doesn't work because it just passes it straight at Dembele. So you can see that there's a player that the AI is controlling in front of Dembele. If we just press A, that guy's going to intercept it. You could try the cross button, but we don't think a cross is great in this instance because we're quite close to Dembele. It's going to be more sort of like a chipped cross. And because it's a chipped cross, Dembele is not great at winning headers. So we just want to press that Y through ball just to play it in behind, making sure that it goes in front so that Dembele can run onto it. And the defender, the goalkeeper, actually manages to intercept it. We get a little bit fortunate, so it drops to our striker for the tap in. But just being able to react in different situations, and that's what's important with attacking. You can't attack the same way all the time because it becomes predictable. So being able to be reactive is very, very crucial to your success when you're attacking. But one of the biggest keys that you need to take away from this video is a lot of people like to rush their attacks. And it's really important that when you get into the final third, you're able to move the ball quickly. As you've seen in all these examples here, we move the ball quickly. But the reason why we're able to move the ball quickly is because we're thinking ahead and how we're going to attack. We're not thinking in the moment. We're not thinking about who's on the ball right now. Right, what's my next pass? We already know what the next pass is going to be. The really elite level attackers, and if you want to become that elite level attacker, you have to think that next pass ahead. So if I'm on the ball, for example, with my player and I play the ball in behind, I'm already thinking, where's the next pass going? Not thinking when I get the ball. Because if you are reactive in that situation and thinking when you're on the ball, you've got no chance of being a good attacker in this game. And the same thing works as well. This guy was pressing us really, really hard, managed to obviously break out of that press. A lot of people this time around, and this is where, again, being adaptive and reading the situation is so important. This time around, his Van Dijk is in a really good position. We could play that little chip ball over the top, but knowing how the sort of the mechanics of this game works, Van Dijk will kind of just stand up and just sort of block it, and then it will just sort of deflect down to one of his players. So we could try risk a through ball on the ground, but again, there's a good chance that Van Dijk's going to intercept that. So you can see on the far side of the pitch, and this is where being able to see the big picture is so important. The far side of the pitch, Ben Yedder is in good space. You can see on the mini-map, he's in between the centre-back and the right fullback. The right fullback is already marking Sane on that right-hand side. So Dembele is able to just pick out Ben Yedder on that far side with a really, really nice through ball. And then Lewandowski's obviously able to go through and score. So it's really important that you're able to see the big picture, and being able to react to situations is so important in this game. So hopefully you guys have picked up some really, really good tips in this video, and hopefully you've learned a few little things about how to master attacking, and just that one big tip on being reactive but not trying to rush the play and being able to think ahead of time where you want to go is so important if you want to become an elite attacker in this game. So in order for us to keep producing videos like this, then we do need your help. So make sure that you smash the like button, make sure you subscribe, and make sure you turn on that notifications bell so that you know exactly when we release new content. If you have any questions for us, let us know down in the comment section. We'll be sure to try and get around to answering all of your questions as quick as possible. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.